Hey everyone, Seth Campbell here. Welcome back to Segway Plays The Legend of Zelda the Wind Waker. In the last episode, we progressed through the beginning of Dragon Roost Cavern, the first proper dungeon, according to most people anyway, of this game. And we made it back outside of the mountain on Dragon Roost Island. So, now we have to go forward, but there's a bokoblin standing there. And you may remember that the ropes on these bridges can be cut with our sword if we're not careful. So you don't want to do any spin attacks or anything. You want to watch out for that, because if this goes down, you're going down with it. And that's going to hurt. So, anyway. Now, do you hear that noise? Well, that's not the noise I was talking about. There was another noise a moment ago. But anyway, so there's a ladder here, right? Let's... Now, notice... Yeah, the ladder's a little burnt, and, yeah, there's that big jet of fire. So obviously, wait until the fire recedes. I feel like you'd want to move the ladder at this point, but... Okay, yeah, that noise is these things. Kargaroks. They're annoying. But, oh, no, never mind. I was hoping it would drop something, but it didn't. We'll return to that later. Now, we must again sidle. And wouldn't you know it, yet another large jet of fire. Now, it doesn't actually hurt you when it's in that sort of preliminary stage. It looks intimidating, but you're still okay if you're just getting out of it when it's still doing that. You just don't want to be there when it shoots a long jet of flame out at you. Now, here's a big rock. And there's nothing we can do about it unless... I don't even think you can't even sidle here. You have to, because you can't get onto the right part of the platform. You have to grab on and climb across it. Another thing you wouldn't catch me doing in real life. And you climb up here. And there is a bomb flower very conveniently located to blow up that big rock. And thus we are going back inside. And it would seem to be another block puzzle. The door seems to be up there. It's currently being, well, blocked by a block. So that means we need to bring this down one so that we can walk through it. Okay, we got that. So now we have to bring another one down one, right? Come on. I remember it wasn't my first playthrough. But I was playing through this once, and my old GameCube controller kind of, I don't know, it had problems where occasionally the R button just wouldn't work. And so I got up to this point, and I couldn't grab the blocks. And so I had to wait until I could go back home to get another controller. Because we were away at the time, and I couldn't go any further. So, we're being hounded by rats, but... Now we're getting a call from in the Magic Stone. So is that from Tetra?
Hey!
No, it isn't. It is the King of Red Lions. Link, have you seen any filthy, thieving rats around? I know they are annoying, but keep your wits about you. They are only rats. Easy for you to say, buddy. You're not losing rupees to these little scamps. If you spread bait near their nest, they may share their store of treasure with you. Why don't you try it? Yes, this is another function of all-purpose bait. And one of the many reasons you want to be stocked up on it, basically at all times, is if you're near a little rat hole, you can dump the bait down.
Delicious! Hey, I got something real good, I'll tell ya. For you! What'll it be for you?
Get a red potion, a blue potion, or nothing. Now, at this point, these two will have essentially the same effect for us. And a red potion will, I believe, be cheaper.
Red potion, 30 rupees.
Sure, why not? Can't hurt. You got some red potion. Set it to Y, Z, or X and use it to replenish your life energy. You can keep it in your bottle.
Bring me more sometime. More!
Yes, so rats will sell you things. Not sure what there's, if there's a deeper message about salesmen in that, but never mind. Okay, so here's a door with a lock on it, but we have no key. There's a chest here. So surely this is going to be the key that we need, right? Wrong. It is in fact the compass, which, as you remember, shows us the location of treasure chests, basically. And so, when we call that up, notice that the room we're in has another treasure chest in it. On the opposite side from this door. But there's... well, the alcove is barred off, and we don't have a giant bokoblin sword. Bokoblin. I gotta get used... I always called it bokoblins as a kid. I don't know if it's bokoblins or... this is hotly debated, and I don't know why. But, with that, in the absence of that, remember, we can make that wood burn. So, we can take one of these boko sticks, light it on fire from the torch over there, and hurl it across the room. Don't try this at home, kids. And wouldn't you know it, this chest has the small key we need. And speaking of hurling things across the room, I was reading this story. It's already gone viral. I'm not going to spoil it, but see if you can find online the story about a man who went with his wife to meet his wife's new boss and was served undercooked steak at dinner. It gave me the best laugh I've had in a long time. Okay, so now we're back outside. And we can see where we came from over there. But we can't get back there, so we go forward. This must be some really strong stone that is very well wedged into the mountain. And wouldn't you know it, there's that sound. It's another Kargarok. Now, when possible, obviously these things are seabirds, so they're going to be over, you know, cliffs a lot of the time. You want to try to defeat them over land or over water that you can actually jump into. Except this guy didn't drop it either. Okay, never mind. We'll get to it. I can't tell you the number of times. Anyway, if you look closely in the nest, there's another small key. Birds like shiny things, and they take them back to their nests. I guess that's the logic we're looking at there. Blue rupee. Nice. Anyway, so that unlocks this door and brings us back inside, and this room is very dark. Very difficult to see. All we can see is a torch and a couple convenient pots of boko sticks. Now, if the torch gives light and we light another torch, then we have more light. And lots of keys, lots of keys. But you light a torch, they will stay lit. And you can burn your way through this whole thing. And if you light these torches, it opens the gate on this door. But we're not ready to go through there yet. Die! Because you probably saw there was a chest in the other room. And in that chest is a joy pendant. Incidentally, my joy pendant number is going to be 1 higher than it was last time, because when you restart the game after you save and quit, if you're in a dungeon, you start at the beginning of that dungeon, and so I went from the beginning to the spot where we last saw each other, I guess you could say, and defeated a bokoblin on the way there and got a joy pendant. Now, let's see. Here we are again. In the lava center of the mountain. Now, that was terrible aim. I was too worried about the keys. There we go. Now, this is an interesting mechanic, and a lot of Zelda games have something kind of like this in some form or another, but not all of them. And it's in this game, for a couple of reasons that I'll talk about later, very helpful. You may remember in the first room, there was a green cauldron of smoke. And had we jumped into this at the time, it would just essentially shoot us back out. But it functions as a warp. So, ow. Okay, that's it. That's it. You want it, you got it. Gotta go. You want it? You got it? Now you know. Okay, they're dead. Now we can go back to our previous discussion. If I could just get back in the damn cauldron. Come on! And it will warp us back to the blue one. So that is really convenient. Now, obviously, you know, dangerous to fight the keys on the bridge, because you can also cut this bridge down. It's the danger of rope bridges. Now, generally, when that happens, when the door locks behind you, it's not a good thing. It means there are enemies that must be defeated before you can go anywhere. Well, we defeated one, all right, but where are the rest of them? It didn't open the door, so that means there must be more of them. Hiding in pots. They can be clever little beasties when they want to be. And yet, still no door opening. Because some poor bokoblin drew the short straw and had to hide in the pot on the shelf. And what I love about this is when you think logistically about it, that opens the doors because there were 3. When you think logistically about it, you can't, once you're in the pot, like, I suppose you could put the pot on the shelf, then climb into the pot on the shelf, but I have this mental image of a bokoblin squeezing itself into a pot and then needing the others to put it up on the shelf. And I feel like that's just not something you signed up for. Certainly wouldn't be comfortable at any rate. But we can now move forward. There are boko sticks there, but I don't think they really serve any purpose, except... No, they do. And is that already one down there? Yes, okay, that'll save us some time. Because when there is an unlit torch, it is your unspoken duty to light that torch, and as you'd notice in the little map in the bottom corner, there should be a chest here. And now there is. And we got another treasure chart. So we will be going into those and how we can use them eventually, but since we're not sailing the ocean right now, we'll just have to wait. As we climb higher up the mountain, remember that you can, because physics totally work this way, make platforms by throwing jugs of water into the lava. Now then there's these things. The name I can't remember at the moment, but the easiest way to defeat them is to do what I just did there. You L-target them and wait for the opportunity where its pincers are open, and the controller will rumble and the A button will flash, and you can deliver one fell swoop and destroy them. Now, because again, this is exactly how physics works. If you make a platform on top of a giant shooting column of lava, of magma, I guess, because it's still underground, or inside the mountain, you can then ride that platform. Don't try this at home. Yep. Let's see, now here we are. And that door over there looks like it's going to take a little more than a small key. What are these things called? Why can't I remember at the moment? Let's see, we have here a bomb flower. And we here have a... I managed to miss both of them. We have two destructible... Oh no. Yeah, don't hit the bomb flowers with your sword. They will blow up and they will hurt you. And I missed both again. You know, my aim is bad enough in the real world. I don't need this garbage in video games. I don't need to be this terrible. And wouldn't you know it, this gives us a yellow cauldron, and that will, you're just going to have to take my word for it for the moment, will warp us back to the first one. So it goes green, blue, yellow, and essentially just takes you in a cycle. Meanwhile, since we can't seem to get across there right now, we're going to have to go out this door. There is the Great Valu. And he seems to be very unhappy. There's another one of these things, but we can't really do anything with that. So, we go this way. But the stairs collapse behind us, so don't dawdle. Move quickly. We get up here, and this isn't good. So that's why we haven't heard from Medli. And now we've got two green bokoblins coming at us. And the fantastic mini-boss music is back. Again, you can hear when the sword strikes. The sound it makes is affected by the music, which I just love. But we're not done. Reinforcements are flown in. And finally, we can take our revenge for all of that sneaking. Of course, it can use the spear to parry, which can be irritating. But like most enemies, if you wait long enough, there'll be an opening, and it'll give you the cue to press A. These guys take a while to go down, but there we go, and boy, wasn't that satisfying. And now, in addition to all these nice rupees, you can't really see it thanks to that rupee just hovering annoyingly in the air, but you got a skull necklace. You can keep it in your spoils bag. This rather off-putting accessory would appear to be of little value, but shown to the right person, it is apparently of great worth. Yes, that is another item for our spoils bag. And just to take a look inside it, we now have 3 items. We have the joy pendants, we have blobs of red chew jelly, and we have a skull necklace now. So that's good to know going forward. Now we have freed Medli, and hopefully she will have some information for us. But I think we'll ask her about that in the next episode. So that's what we'll do in the next episode. We will talk to Medli, and hopefully we can figure out what's upsetting the great Valu and calm him down before he totally destroys this entire island and takes the Rito civilization down with him. So we'll see you then. Oh, joy pendant. Okay, I'll have to explain that. Oh, no, 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 no!